GM announces $1 billion for a new V8 engine and electric vehicle components. But why is GM investing nearly $1 billion in new V8 engines when it's all in on electric vehicles? I will answer this question a little bit later, but in the meantime, General Motors has announced it intends to spend just under $1 billion to develop its next generation V8 engines, a very powerful engines. The company will invest $918 million across 4 of its US sites, of which $854 million will be spent developing the 6th generation small block V8 engine and $64 million on supporting electric vehicle production. Look at this, $854 million to develop a small block V8 engine and only $64 million on supporting electric vehicle production when GM is kind of all in on electric vehicles. So why? But like I said, I will answer that question a little bit later. GM's Flint engine operations in Michigan will get $579 million from that total for the bulk of the new V8 block, crank and head machining, as well as assembly. Its Bay City GPS site will get $216 million to build cams connecting roads and blocking and in blocks and head machining, supporting Flint's operation. Meanwhile, Defiance operations in Ohio will get $55 million, the bulk of which will go toward building block castings to support the future V8 engine program, while $8 million will be used to build a casting development cell for future electric vehicle strategies. Rochester operations in New York will get a total of $68 million for the pod, $12 million of which will be used for V8 intake manifolds and fuel rails, and $56 million for battery packs cooling lines for GM electric cars. GM hasn't revealed any details of the new V8 engine or indeed the electric car components, what components those will, other than the fact a 6th generation of its small block V8 will appear in the near future. These investments, coupled with the hard work and dedication of our team members in Flint, Bay City, Rochester, and Defiance, enable us to build world-class products for our customers and provide job security at these plants for years to come, said GM's Vice President of Manufacturing and Sustainability, Gerald Johnson. The teams in Rochester and Defiance are also leading our transformation to an all-electric future, Johnson added, a future that includes a next-generation V8 too. So why is GM investing nearly $1 billion in V8 engine when it's all in on electric vehicles? The automaker has spent much of the last year promoting its upcoming electric vehicle lineup, which included a Chevy Blazer EV, Chevy Silverado EV, and Chevy Equinox EV, to name a few. The Bolt EV and EUV make up the vast majority of GM's EV sales right now, but more expensive models like the Cadillac Lyriq and GMC Hummer are beginning to gain momentum. Although GM claims the Bolt was #1 mainstream EV series in Q3 and Q4, with deliveries climbing over 50% year over year, total electric vehicle sales still amounted to less than 2%, while many companies are already achieving double digits or 100% electric vehicle sales share. And I said 100%, you know I'm talking about Tesla. To make matters worse, the company announced that it's investing $918 million in 4 of its facilities for V8 engine production, even components, and also electric vehicle components. The electric vehicle components parts comprises of a mere $64 million, like I said, less than 10% going toward 2 of its facilities. Its Rochester and New York plant will receive $56 million to build battery cooling packs, and the other $8 million is to produce a casting development cell for future electric vehicle developments at its Defiance, Ohio facility, according to the press release. So I think GM is sending some mixed messages here. Are they all in on electric vehicles, or is it just talk? Because V8 engines won't help GM sell more electric vehicles, and most certainly will not help them hit its goal of eliminating tailpipe emissions from its vehicles by 2035. Now keep in mind, this is the same GM that spent years hyping up an electric Corvette that even President Biden couldn't stop talking about it, only to release a hybrid E-Ray Corvette last week, fitted with a V8 and about the same amount of energy storage as two standard 12-volt lead-acid batteries. On top of this, you can only drive in all-electric mode for speeds up to 45 miles per hour or when the throttle crosses a certain threshold. To be fair, GM is investing over $35 billion through 2025 in electric vehicles and is moving quicker than most automakers. However, they may not be moving as quickly as they claim. The Chevy Bolt is still a great car, not less winning Electric's Car of the Year in 2022 and selling impressively well after a recall derails its momentum. Actually, I've test-driven Chevy Bolt and I like it very much. In my earlier today, I reported that Consumer Reports actually had very good rating about Chevy Bolt. Now, if GM's Mary Barra believes they can beat Tesla, they will need to start by acting fast. Investing almost $1 billion into V8 engines is the entirely wrong, in my opinion. It's a entirely wrong direction. Imagine if GM would invest $1 billion toward electrification of its entire fleet. GM is already building V8 engines. There should be no need to make any more at this point, in my opinion. What do you think, friends? Let me know your thoughts on this. Now, the question is why GM is investing nearly $1 billion in V8 engines when it's all in on electric vehicles? I think the answer is simple. Heavy-duty trucks like the Silverado HD and Sierra HD, just like Ford said, there is no plan to make these EVs yet because the battery requirements and towing demands are simply too high. And these are exempt from fuel economy rules, so they likely aren't affected by any of the 2035 ICE bans. Ford, GM, and Ram will convert their light-duty trucks to electric vehicles, but so far there are no plans to do so with the heavy-duty trucks. That's why they need to keep updating their V8 engines, because their competition is doing the same. So you see, the competition apparently is doing the same. This is why GM is trying to keep up with competition, because they may not be that strong. But like I said, from what I said, looks like they're investing several $1 billion also in electrification by 2025. But that is not mentioned in the press release. Now, in my opinion, the intermediate future of cars is fully electric and solar. Do you agree with that? GM says they are embracing it. But are they? Like I said, in my opinion, GM seems to be sending some mixed messages. Hopefully, with a few high-profile electric vehicle releases this year and momentum built up from last year, the company can start putting some numbers up. So what do you think, guys? Let me know your thoughts. Leave your comments and your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Armen Haryan from tortnews.com. God bless you, everyone. And I'll see you soon in our next report. And look forward to reading your comments. And if you found this report useful and helpful, give us thumbs up, tweet it out, share in social media. God bless you. See you soon.